You used to run on discipline, dopamine, and 5 hours of sleep. And now you can't even get out of bed. This isn't burnout. It's a brain debt your nervous system has been silently collecting for years. And today, I'll show you how to pay it back before it costs even more. I'm Dr. Sanil Rege, consultant psychiatrist and educator. The common take is that burnout happens to adults in corporate jobs. But teenagers, elite athletes, even 9-year-olds in gymnastics are crashing too. In fact, research shows that up to 1 in 5 athletes are affected by overtraining syndrome, where mood crashes, immune function drops, and recovery stalls. So here's the plan for this video. We'll cover what performance debt is and why it feels like depression. How your dopamine, serotonin, and stress axes flip from turbo to shutdown. The 3 recovery tiers: behavioral rewires, biological resets, and strategic pharmacology. And one question to ask yourself tonight that can restart motivation without guilt. So let's start with a simple metaphor. Every all-nighter training session and high-stakes exam is like swiping your brain's credit card. You're spending energy on stress adaptation, what we call allostatic load. At first, you keep up with payments, but over time, interest builds up. Inflammation, cortisol instability, mitochondrial wear. Unlike sleep debt, performance debt is sneaky. You can run on adrenaline for months or even years, until one day, the system asks for repayment. That tipping point is when the lights go out. Not because you're weak, because your biology is doing exactly what it was designed to do: shut down for survival. Let's go deeper. Debt isn't just metaphorical, it's molecular. So here's what's happening. We have central fatigue. After long-term stress, serotonin starts to dominate over dopamine. You feel heavy, flat, and unmotivated. This serotonergic imbalance is well documented in conditions such as long COVID and ME/CFS. 2, we have dopamine burnout. High performers run on bursts of dopamine, but chronic stress blunts those bursts. You're left with background noise, but no peaks and no drive. 3rd, the cortisol shift. Initially, stress raises cortisol, but later, levels drop and rhythms flatten. This is a burnout signature. Your stress response system is worn out. 4th, the immune response. Here we have specialized cells in the brain called microglia and cytokine release. They magnify pain and sickness behavior. You're not lazy. Your brain is asking the body to power down for repair. And how do you know? You feel fatigued and foggy. Number 5, the safety switch. When external threats drop, end of season, graduation, a holiday, the ventromedial prefrontal cortex finally lifts up its clamp. The moment you stop, your brain finally says, now we can rest. And now comes the crash. The cost hits like a delayed jet lag, pushing you to bed for safety and emotional recalibration. Now, this is where things get mislabeled. Burnout looks like depression, low mood, foggy thinking, lack of motivation. But here's a key difference. In burnout, the desire is often there. You want to do things, but can't. In major depression, the desire itself disappears. The lack of hedonic drive, what we call anhedonia. I've covered it in this video here. Ask yourself, if I had the energy, would I still enjoy it? If yes, it might be burnout. And here's an important point. Treating burnout with high-dose stimulants without rest is like paying off one credit card by maxing out another. It often won't end well. At the start of the video, I said, I'll give you strategies to start paying down that balance, interest-free. So let's talk recovery. Step 1, start tracking your system using the PACES model, a very effective model that I've developed and employ in clinical practice and teaching. P for perception. Here you can use mood logs, heart rate variability, sleep and body signals. A for activity. One can shift from intense daily workouts to a mix of 80% low and 20% high intensity. Mix it up. C, cognition. Schedule downtime. Just 10 minutes of boredom daily resets your default mode network, the mind-wandering part of the brain. E, emotion. Name what you're feeling. Safety cues matter. And finally, S for sleep. Go for 9-hour windows for 2 to 3 weeks. Let the brain reboot. Then support your biology. Eat to restore. Protein to replenish branched-chain amino acids, complex carbohydrates to restore glycogen, omega-3s to dampen neuroinflammation. There are a range of strategies. Next, try off-ramps such as slow breathing, cold showers, short naps. One of my patients, a former junior swimmer, cut training by 40% and added light yoga. In 6 weeks, sleep improved, energy and mood returned. Next, let's look at when and how pharmacology fits. Sometimes the brain needs a little help to get unstuck. Here's a simple way to think about symptom patterns. Sometimes when we're wired and irritable and behavioral and psychological strategies aren't working, we may need mood stabilizers or low-dose antihistamines to reduce hyperarousal. When we're wired and anxious or there are significant vivid dreams or nightmares, alpha-2 agonists like clonidine or guanfacine can help. Prazosin alpha-1 antagonist can also help dampen down these nightmares. The principle is that by providing restful REM sleep, we get better non-REM sleep, the deep restorative sleep. And this helps us reboot our prefrontal cortex and our striatum, the parts of the brain necessary for cognition and activity. If we're flat and foggy, sometimes we need a gentle nudge through dopaminergic and noradrenergic potentiators, our modafinil or stimulants, bupropion, and other antidepressants such as vortioxetine or agomelatine. What's important to recognize is that medications are a bridge, not a crutch. Reassess every 6 to 8 weeks, adjust the dose as necessary. Consider tapering when you've stabilized. The brain loves stability. With these strategies, the debt can be cleared, but you still need a new spending plan. So this takes us to the final piece. We've got to figure out who are you after the burnout. So the first step is an identity audit. List the roles you held before burnout, the athlete, top student, CEO, and add 2 values-based roles you want post-recovery. Mentor, a creative role, advocacy role. 2, the expectations reset. Swap outcome goals. I want to win X, Y, or Z, or I want to make so much money, for process goals. For example, move joyfully 4 times a week. Third, the social safety net. Here's safe relationships. Downregulate the amygdala faster than any medication. Fourth, the mini challenge ladder. Start with 5% tougher tasks each week to retrain the striatum's reward center. Here we're retraining the brain to remember what feeling good feels like. And we're trying to do this without overwhelming the system. So let me summarize all of this for you. Performance debt is real, neurobiological. But here's the good news, it is reversible. Here's what you've got to do. Step 1, recognize the bill. Step 2, pay down with structured rest. And if needed, targeted pharmacology. Step 3, spend wisely going forward. If this resonated with you, share it with one high achiever who's suddenly off the grid. Hit the like button and subscribe to future videos. This is the channel where we bridge neuroscience with real life. And if you want a deeper dive into fatigue and how to resolve it, then watch the video on the screen here right now. Remember, you're not lazy. You're settling the balance so the future you can thrive. I'm Dr. Sanil Rege, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, stay curious. Bye-bye.